What's up, everyone? So in this video, I'm going to be going over how I find my daily bias in my trading. I think this will most likely be one of the shortest videos in the course just because, to be completely honest with you, I do not trade with a strict daily bias in my trading, and I do not look for a specific side of the market on any day. With the mechanical model that I've given and that I've taught within this course, and just the model that I trade, it doesn't really require for a strict daily bias. But in this video, I'm kind of going to be going over how I would formulate a daily bias if I was going into the day. So I'm actually just going to start on the daily time frame and kind of just read price as it is right now instead of giving specific days daily biases. Because like I said, I don't ever trade with a strict daily bias. I just essentially look where I think price could head during that day or during that session. It's not a whole big thing to me. So if I was looking at the charts right now, right, I can see, okay, we've been printing very bullish. We're obviously disrespecting the bearish side of price. But what are we coming into right now? We're coming into this daily bearish fair value gap right here. So if I was looking at the charts right here, I am neither bullish nor am I bearish. Now, you might be thinking, okay, well, why aren't you bullish? We've been having a very clear, continuous run up, right? And I even said that it looks like we're having bullish price action. The reason why, at this specific point in time, I'm not going to be bullish or bearish is because, yes, we're bullish, but we're also approaching a bearish PD array. So this is something that I'll have within my mind that if I know on a daily time frame, we're coming up to this daily bearish for value gap, and possibly on a 4-hour time frame, nothing really happened within this range because it was just very choppy. Not a whole lot of good price action went on. But if I was looking within this price range, I could see, okay, maybe we're at this daily fair value gap. Maybe I could see like a market structure shift to the downside or something like that, or just something to kind of go within the flow of the actual PD arrays that price is giving me. So I guess that's another way that I could explain my daily bias is that I'm not really looking to formulate a bias. I'm looking to just see what price is doing, what price is giving me, and off of the PD arrays that I trade. So for example, in a situation like this, we're inside of this daily bearish for value gap, we're continuously printing bullish, but you also got to realize we might need a pullback eventually. We might need to, maybe pull back to equilibrium of this range or somewhere within this price range to actually continue going up if we wanted to, right? Because from this point, since we're inside of this bearish confluence, this bearish PD array, we could definitely see a move down from here. We could see a move all the way down to these lows or all the way down to wherever price wants to go. That's essentially my point. You don't know where price is always going to go, so you just want to take what is given to you at that time. So right now, like I said, I wouldn't really be bullish or bearish. If I was looking for any type of trade, it most likely would be a selling position because even though we're bullish, we still have not retraced back into equilibrium. We also have this daily bearish fair value gap. So this is just kind of an example of something I could use to formulate a quote-unquote bias. But like I said, I don't ever trade with a strict bias. I don't ever go into the day and say I'm bearish or I'm bullish. I just go into the day and I take what the market gives me. Because I think if you're too stuck up on one side, I think some of those days you can miss good trades for no reason. Just because you were so stuck on thinking that price was going to go one direction and it didn't. So, like I said, I would show examples, but there's not examples literally to be shown because I do not trade with a strict daily bias. It goes hand in hand with the draw and liquidity. I would say, if anything, my daily bias comes more from the draw and liquidity more than it does actually seeing where the market's at. Because when I'm identifying the draw and liquidity, it honestly is somewhat the same as a daily bias. You're trying to see what is getting respected, what is getting disrespected, and that's more of how I form a directional bias of where I think price is going to go. So, like I said, I don't trade with a strict bias. Can't really give you a straightforward mechanical way to get one, but this is how I essentially come into the market every day. I just look for where the market's at, and I see what are we respecting, what are we disrespecting, and where can we head towards. So in a situation like this, where we're inside of a bearish daily fair value gap and we have equilibrium to retrace back to, that would essentially be my quote-unquote daily bias. I would say I'm expecting more of a move down more than I am expecting a move up just because of the bearish confluence. But if we ended up coming and disrespecting this bearish fair value gap, my draw on liquidity will most likely be these highs up here. Just because if we're not going to send price lower from here, we're obviously going to head higher. So very straightforward, very simple, and I hope that helped.